What is good people? You are now listening to another episode of At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and it is the most wonderful time of the year. MLB baseball is back, baby. Opening day today. Man, so of course, per usual, we're going to do our season preview episode, but I had to bring back my merry band of brothers. So starting a roll call from the Beyond the Art with Brandon Silvers podcast, we have the great Brandon Silvers. Brandon, what's happening, man?
What is going on? Excited about this one.
Yeah, you and me both. And then to my bottom left, I got my man KP, H-Town's finest, aka Fried Drexler, in the building. What's going on with you?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Just down here in Mexico now. So trying to see. But we lost today, so I got a lot to say.
Okay, and we'll get into that. And then to my bottom right, we have the brains of the operation, my man Brett Gosnell. Brett.
How we doing?
What's going on, man?
Started off 7-1, I believe, today. Mookie's on fire. Tyler Glass now looks amazing. Looking good.
So
how much
far,
you
so
put
good.
on? How much you put on it today?
I put on Arizona today, unfortunately, is what I put on.
Hey now.
And speaking of Arizona, we got my man Retro Rob batting fifth in the lineup. Cleveland Guardians representative himself. Rob, great to have you back, man. What's good with you?
Hey man, thank you for having me back. Excited for this. Baseball season is my favorite time of the year. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, same here. Same here. So first off, based on the banter over the email last night, we got to start this off with the elephant in the room, Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter, and whether or not gambling was or was not involved. So I will leave the floor to Brett and KP. If y'all want to get some stuff off your chest.
Well, I just need the Dodger fans to explain how this guy is not going to be implicated for something that he did. Like he gambled, obviously, and somebody else is taking the fall for him.
No.
So
Okay.
How are they going to explain that? Like,
all right. First things first. Even if he did gamble, it's not a problem. If nobody will know this because name's Jared Cozart. I didn't even know who he was, but there was a baseball player like 3 or 4 years ago bet on another sport illegally with an illegal bookie. He didn't even get suspended a game. He just got a fine. So like that's the worst case that we're looking at. Second of all, he didn't even bet.
Did he wire?
Okay.
Did he wire money to the bookie in California?
Right. Okay. So the translator's initial story was that I got in debt from betting. My friend Shohei Ohtani, who's my best friend, bailed me out. I initially believed that story, and I don't even think that's bad. But that's initially
that's not a bad story off top. That's not a bad story.
So
what you just said is not a bad story.
Well, that was the initial story the translator came out with, and then Shohei Ohtani's legal team immediately come out and said no, he did not do this. The translator was stealing from him. And I believe they were just trying to keep him out of legal trouble for wiring money illegally. But then it's come out that this interpreter is an incredible liar. He lies on his resume. He didn't even go to the college he attended. Now get this.
I saw that.
He lied about the major league teams that he was an interpreter for. Like there's 30 teams and he's being an interpreter for one of them. And he's lying that he was with another one. Like that's the boldness of that just amazes me. If you can do that, you can steal money from your friend, dude, like with no hesitation. So now I believe Shohei didn't even have anything to do with it after I've heard this news drop that he's lying on his resume.
So you believe Shohei Ohtani, you believe Ipe, that's the translator.
Ipe's the translator.
Had access to that much money.
Yes.
To that much money.
100%. Because Shohei has never managed his own money. Shohei has never cared about money.
I've heard about 5 stories. They said they said his mom was
Yeah.
over his bank account, or that she
Back,
watched his
back in
bank
Japan.
account.
Back in
So,
Japan, yes.
so are you telling me Ippei, she was giving Ippei money? Are you telling me she was giving Ippei money?
No, when Shohei was in Japan, his mom
I gotta get
managed
this
his bank
straight
account.
because I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, his mom didn't come to America with him, so he had to get somebody else to manage the money. He has no interest in money, and that the evidence for that is he's deferred. As a gambler, trust me, if I'm gambling, I'm not deferring $700 million. There's games to bet on this weekend. We need the money now. So that's another evidence that he.
Dog, don't ever say nobody has interest in money. Dog, y'all be making up all kind of shit. Dog, he getting $700 million. Why he didn't take
And he
$400
deferred
million?
it. And he deferred it. He deferred
I
all
don't
of
care
it.
about that
except for-
deferred shit. I ain't trying to hear that, man. Come on.
I think
Okay, fine.
there's another aspect of the story that no one's looked into,
What's that?
and we need to investigate it. If you remember the big free agency deal with Shohei,
Mhm.
with the plane and everything, I'm wondering how the dude from Shark Tank's involved in all this.
What did
They
he do?
thought he was on the
I haven't even-
plane. I'm just saying, this is a man who deals with a lot of money, gambling, maybe investing in companies. I'm looking at Shark Tank dude myself. I'm looking into it. I'll let y'all know what I find, but that's the Beyond the Arc investigation.
Man, I heard Dodger fans saying Shohei don't watch other sports. He don't watch nothing, but he don't even watch other sports. Like they showed him at like 5 basketball games sitting in the crowd already.
He didn't know where he was.
Come on, man. Yeah,
So here's
man.
the last
I'm-
last point. Last point I'm gonna
What's
make.
that?
All right. Okay. If Ippei was taking the fall for him, as you're alleging,
Mhm.
then how is Shohei now
Well, that's-
coming out and throwing Ippei under the bus and saying that you stole money from me? If you're trying to get somebody to
Because
take the
that's the
fall
fastest
for
way
you,
out. That's the fastest way
yeah,
out.
but then Ippei,
That's the fastest way out.
if I'm trying to partner with somebody and say, "Hey, take the fall for me," I'm not going to then come out and say, "Yeah, this man stole from me." Like then Ippei's going to come back and
No,
say it was all Shohei.
no, the fall is I'm gonna say you stole it from me. That's what the fall is. That's the only way they could get out of it, is to say he stole it. But they gotta prove that shit. They're gonna have to prove
Oh,
that.
boy.
If the feds get involved, we're gonna find out. So once
Well,
the
I mean,
feds get involved, we're gonna find out. Somebody going to jail or somebody gonna tell. That's what it is.
He looked
Well,
innocent
he
to
knows
me when he
all
was
about
playing.
Nah, he looked great today. I gotta admit, he did
Yeah,
look great
yeah.
today.
He looked very innocent out on that field. I gotta
And,
say.
and if he don't get suspended, he's gonna win the MVP. He's gonna win the MVP.
Yeah.
If he don't get suspended, he's gonna win the MVP. Yeah.
Well, like I said,
got him down
unless
there
he
for
was betting on
MVP.
baseball, he's not even going to get in trouble. That's the thing. Like,
Well, that's what
we've
I
seen
said.
this
If he
before.
ain't betting on baseball, as long as he didn't do nothing illegal, if he's not betting on baseball, if he's betting on basketball and other shit, I don't care
Yeah.
about that shit, dude.
Right.
Like that shit, I don't care
Right.
about that shit. Like really, I don't. But you know, the P Rose shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you betting on baseball, man. Come on, man. You gotta let Pete in, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And I love when they asked Pete Rose about it, and he was like, "Shit, I wish I had an interpreter when I played."
Interpreter. Right.
For real.
And so we're going to get into this preview now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start just picking our winners by division. We're going to go through each division, and then after we do the division, then we'll do MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and then like young players that we think that people think that they should pay attention to, and then teams aside from ours that we're going to have that we're going to be watching intently over the course of the season. So we'll start with the AL East. So Brandon, who do you have coming out of the AL East?
I've got the Orioles. You want some reasons for that? Because I did put some thought into it.
Okay.
Especially looking today, Corbin Burns. One hit, 6 innings. I think he's going to be incredible. They're giving him some run support. He didn't have that in Milwaukee. They got another guy, Grayson Rodriguez, expecting him to take a step forward. And Craig Kimbrell, you know, I am not going to miss him personally. And he's a downgrade from Bautista, but still pretty good. But then, like, you got what's his name, Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, eventually Jackson Holiday. I think they're going to do it again this season. I like them better than the Yankees. I'll be very sad if the Yankees clawed their way back up to the top.
And truthfully, Brandon, I got the O's coming out of the AL East as well. And like you mentioned, with the addition of Corbin Burns, because they're a young team. I mean, really, they overachieved to a degree last season, and to be that young and to put up that amount of wins, man, the future is bright for them. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, like you mentioned with Adley Rutschman and Jackson Holiday, which I'm looking forward to seeing him actually next Friday, because the Norfolk Tides are going to be playing the Charlotte Knights, and I'm going to be up there that weekend. So I'm looking forward to watching him in person. But yeah, that addition to Corbin Burns, bro, that look out. So seriously, yeah, that's my pick for the AL East as well. KP.
I probably picked the Orioles. I saw a lot of previews. They picking the Yankees, but I just don't. They ain't nobody. I don't trust them. They old. They got Judge. He ain't gonna make it through the year. Stanton ain't gonna make it through the year, injury free. I like their young players though. I like Volpe. He got game, but I don't even think Cole's gonna be that good this year. I think he's gonna start off good, but I think he's gonna fall off. So I'm picking the Orioles too. But I'm not saying Tampa Bay don't have a chance though. Like, Tampa Bay got some hitters too.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
but man,
yeah, Tampa Bay got some hitters.
Yeah, but it just
they're gonna give the Yankees problem too. Like, Tampa Bay is gonna be in the mix. You know what I mean? If they don't start off real bad, they're gonna probably be in the mix too. So, but I'll pick the Orioles.
All right, Brett.
Yeah, it's the Orioles. Yankees are actually the favorite on the betting line, but like we've said, the Orioles are loaded. They won 100 games last year. They only got better with their additions. Yankees are adding Juan Soto, huge, massive addition, but they were barely a 500 team last year. So no way you can take them over the Orioles. And it's not going to manifest this year probably, but the Orioles finally have got new ownership. They're going to start spending money on top of all of these young players they're bringing up. So they're going to be dangerous for years and years to come.
And they just finalized that ownership. Was it yesterday?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. The news come out like in the offseason, but yeah, just finalized. And, starting next year, they'll probably dip their toe in the free agent market a little bit, and that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Dodgers of the East, potentially.
Could be. Rob, what say you?
Got us today.
And I got the Orioles too. We're gonna make it a clean sweep of the Orioles for the AL East here. I like you guys were saying, they got a ton of young talent. Adding Burns, I think, puts them over the top. Once that Holiday kid gets called up, man, I saw that kid outrun like a little routine ground ball up the middle that was fielded by the second baseman, and he ran it out. He beat it out. They're trying to compare his speed to Tyreek Hill. I don't know. That's a little much, but the kid's got a ton of talent. So when they bring him up, and then they got the Westberg kid, Rutschman, they're stacked, man. And like the Yankees, I don't know, like the same thing you guys are saying. They got a lot of older guys, a lot of injury prone. I still don't trust Judge in that toe. Cole with his arm, his shoulder. Soto's a great addition. I definitely think he's going to improve them, but I don't think he puts them over the top. So definitely the Orioles.
All right, clean sweep. So now we go to the AL Central and talk about our predictions for that division. So, Brandon, back to you.
So this division was kind of disgusting to look at, because I feel like there's not a lot here. I'm going to go with the Twins, but that's more of a reflection on the rest of the division. They won it last year, even though Byron Buxton was hurt and Royce Lewis missed significant time. Buxton's always going to be hurt. I was ready to come on here and kind of strut because of my Royce Lewis prediction, because he hit a home run and then like before the game's over, he's hurt himself running the bases. So I can't even be happy. But I do think Correa has a bounce back year. They need to replace Sonny Gray, but it's a weak division. If we got 4 more people, we might be able to take it. So Twins.
There you go. Twins, please sign me. I'll gladly take that money off your hands.
I'll be his interpreter.
Baseball been very, very good to me. Yeah, so I'm going Twins as well for the same reasons you mentioned. And man, I tell you, I remember when Byron Buxton was the talk of the town in Baseball America magazine coming up. I think he was the top prospect, if I'm not mistaken. And he just could not get it together. Like always hurt. And it was just, man, I was rooting so hard for him to, just do his thing in the league. But again, injuries just put a damper in that. But yeah, I'm going with the Twins as well. Just like you said, that division, man. But I do like that seeing that Royals, they investing that money in Bobby Witt Jr. And that I love that a small market team is willing to put on that investment, considering the fantastic year he had last year. And I think they just announced that they're getting a new ballpark in downtown Kansas City. And I want to say it's 2028, like right across from their arena. And honestly, that's my favorite ballpark that I've been to so far, is in Kansas City. But yeah, I'm taking the Twins as well. KP.
I had the Twins and the Guardians. They still got some bats. Probably gonna be the Twins though. I mean, the rest of them trash. KC is trash. The White Sox, they're gonna be so bad this year. They probably gonna win like 10 games. So I think Minnesota probably gonna win the division, but I think Cleveland gonna give them a little push, probably.
All right.
That division, I mean, Minnesota's they not that good either. You know what I mean? Like they all right, but they're not really that good. They don't impress me. They just made the playoffs because they had to. Like, you know what I mean? Like they one of those teams.
All right. Brett, I'm turning it over to you.
I'm actually going to go with the Royals. So
I like it. Shake
like
the table.
like you said, good on them for finally investing some money. They're finally trying, paid Bobby Witt a lot of money. They signed some free agents, not anybody that you might have ever heard of, but they did try a little bit. They signed a few people, and it don't take much to win this division. So, I mean, the one team that's making some effort here, I mean, the team that wins the division is probably going to be, 82 wins or something like that? I mean, Kansas City might have done enough to get there. So, I'm going to – this is my one, out-of-the-box pick. I'm going to take Kansas City.
Okay. And as a Rangers fan, I was really sad to see Cole Reagans going that
I forgot to say that. He's actually he's like a top 10 odds to win the Cy Young. I mean, he's legit. Yeah. So that's a good arm. They got Brady Singers, and he hadn't really had a great season yet, but he's got amazing stuff. So they got some arms. Salvador Perez is there. They got some decent pieces. And like I say, it ain't going to take a lot to win this division. So
yeah. Gave him up for a Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Brett, I'm looking at this roster. Dog.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna come. They terrible, man. All they got is Witt. Who else they got? They got Vinny Pasquantino. Nick Prado can hit. He can hit.
Pasquantino's a fan favorite, at least. He might not be any good, but.
And MJ Melendez, he all right. Well, yeah, I don't see nothing to stand out on that. They got Austin Nolan. We'll see. I mean, like you said, it ain't gonna take much because Minnesota could have a couple of injuries. Buxton, we already know he gonna get hurt, and then KC could be right up there because there's not a lot going on in that division.
Oh, Rob, what say you? I know you're a Guardians fan, but
Man,
let's hear it.
hey, you can call me a homer, say what you will, but I am taking Cleveland for this
See,
division.
see,
Uh,
see.
Stand on your
you know,
shit. I love it.
I'm standing on business. You know, we might need a guy like Serrano in the middle of our lineup, you know, to give us some pop. But
Joe
you know,
Boo.
Josh, yep, Joe Boo. But no, man, Cleveland. I really feel like they got the best pitching staff in the division with Bibby, with Bieber, with Logan Allen. You know, we still got we still got the stud Clase, you know, closing games out. So, you know, we go 3-4 deep, you know, with our staff of solid guys. And we brought back our OG Cookie Carrasco. You know, and he's always been, you know, an innings eater, solid pitcher, you know, especially for Cleveland. You know, and then lineup wise, you know, like we've been really struggling like in the power category. I think last year we hit like 120 home runs, which is sad,
Wow.
pathetic. You know, so this year I think we're gonna have a little bit more pop. We got some younger dudes coming up, Manzardo. You know, he didn't get called up right away, but he'll be up here within the first month or so. First baseman that we got for the Aaron Savale trade to Tampa Bay. And then you know we got Josh Naylor, and then his brother Bo, who is the catcher. I'm really expecting big things from him this year. You know, to provide some pop at the top of the lineup. And you know, we got the stalwart with Jose Ramirez. He's always, you know, top five MVP candidate. He's always up there in the voting. So I really think if you know we stay healthy, you know, and these young kids step up, man. And then we got a new coach. You know, Tito's gone now, so we got Stephen Vogt. I really like Vogt a lot. I think he's going to be a great skipper. So, you know, I think he might be in the running if Cleveland can win the division. He might be in the running for Coach of the Year in the AL. So that's my pick, man. I'm standing on business with my boys in Cleveland.
I like it. So 3 for the Twins, 1 for the Royals, and 1 for the Guardians. Balance.
I might switch to the Guardians after that. He got me convinced now.
That was very passionate. I don't know. I might. You're not lying.
He got me convinced. I was on the edge already. Now he got me convinced.
All right, now we're going to take it to the AL West. Woo, buddy. All right. Might be some friction between a couple people in this room. But Brandon, I'll start with you.
So this was tough for the reason that you're hinting at, because I was between the Rangers and the Astros. I'm going with the Astros. They're kind of like Michael Myers to me. They just keep coming back, and I'm tired of them, and I hate them. Full offense to KP, but I mean, they add Hader to that bullpen. I'm expecting Altuve to be healthy. You got Alvarez. I mean, it's just, I want them to die. I badly do. But like Michael Myers, they just keep popping back up. So I got to go with the Astros, unfortunately.
Man, Josh Hader. He was at the top of my free agency list of my free agency wish list because we badly need a closer cut. I'm glad Chapman's gone. That's all I can say. But yeah. Getting Hader signing with the enemy, that one stung.
I hated it. I hated it.
Yeah, me too. But for me, it's in the air between the Stros and the Mariners for me. But because the Stros won the division, but I mean the Mariners were right there. You say what you want, they were right there. But ultimately, begrudgingly, I got to go with the Stros too. Fuck the Stros, but that's my pick for the AL West.
Agreed.
I mean, Altuve, Jordan. As much as I talk down on the Stros, that man always shows up when it matters the most, and I cannot take that away from him. And Altuve, that little Shetland pony can flat out rake, and he's always been one of my favorite players. So, you know, bias aside, yeah, I'm taking the Astros in that division. Brett.
Yeah, it's got to be Houston. I'm pulling for Texas. I hope it's not Houston. I still think Texas probably has the best lineup, but you're losing Montgomery, you're losing or you didn't get Hader, so your bullpen's still going to be bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and talk good about Houston because I hate them, but that's my pick. So I'll just stop now.
Man, and on a brighter note, I mean, they're not going to put Scherzer on they're leaning towards not putting Scherzer on the 60-day DL, but still, I mean, he's like 600 years old. I mean, coming off a back issue, and then we're not getting DeGrom back until probably like mid to late August at the earliest. So yeah, that makes sense for the Stros to for me, in my opinion, to run away with that division despite the power and the Rangers lineup. Rob, how about you? What's your pick?
And so this one was tough for me. I went back and forth. I was looking at it last night, really kind of studying. But so I waffled between three teams. Actually, I was waffling between the Rangers, Seattle, and obviously the hated Astros. I can't stand them bitches either. So, you know, like the Rangers, man, they do have probably the best lineup in the division, but the pitching is just questionable right now. So,
Yeah,
and in my mind, man, you got to have some arms to really get there. Bochy is a great coach, like no doubt about it. Bochy's one of the best. So I think he will figure out some type of rotation to, make them like in the running for it. But I think ultimately it's going to be the Stros that are going to do it. Their bullpen is just deadly, man. They got Abreu, they got Presley and Hader. That's three legitimate dudes that could close for any team and give you 40 saves. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like you basically got those guys from 7, 8 to 9. So good luck in those innings. If you don't have the lead, you're in deep shit.
yeah,
So in Seattle, I think Seattle's good. They got a ton of good arms too, young arms with
yeah. They
with
do.
Kirby and Gilbert, and what's the other kid? The Bryce Miller, and obviously Julio Rodriguez is a stud. But I think Seattle kind of was a little cheap in free agency when they went. They got Mitch Haniger, who that dude's hurt all the time too. Mitch Garver was a decent addition, but they really didn't make any big splashes in free agency. So, I think they're going to be there contending, but it's going to be Houston, man. Like Brandon said, they don't die, man. They're Michael Myers. Them bitches are always going to be there right now.
Man, I was so caught up in the
I'm
Astros hate. KP,
disappointed
did
in
I
y'all,
even
man.
ask you what
You
your
don't have
pick
to
is?
ask him. You don't have to ask him. We can move on. KP don't need to talk
Hey,
about
look,
the Astros.
nah, but look, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. I've been looking at all these previews, right? Like, so everybody's picking like Seattle and shit. Like, and I'm disappointed in Danny, man, because dude, y'all won the World Series. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, y'all are the best team right now. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Like, when you win the World Series, dude, you're the best team until somebody take you down. So you hear how I talk like we always good, like when I talk shit,
Yeah,
because I feel like we always the best team. Like whoever we play against, we gonna beat them anyway, even when we lose. So I need you to step your confidence up. Y'all just won the World Series. Y'all got Bruce Bochy. Man, y'all gonna come in front of Seattle. Y'all might come in front of us. Y'all might win the division again. Y'all the world champs, man. I'm picking Texas, dude.
but see, whenever I throw my nuts on the table is when we shit the bed.
I'm picking
I'm
Texas
trying to
because
reverse
they the world
engineer the bad
champs.
juju, but I appreciate you picking us
I'm
to win
picking
the division.
Texas. Yeah, because I'm picking Texas because they know how to win now. See, y'all know how to win now. See, these other teams, like the Dodgers, they know how to win. I always pick them because they know how to win. You know what I'm saying? They know how to win. Atlanta, they know how to win. Phillies, they know how to win. These teams know how to win. Y'all know how to win now. So I know we the best team in the division, but y'all got a chance, man.
All right, man. All right, that's what, 3 for the
Fuck
stroke or
Seattle
4
though. I can't stand Seattle. I don't like Seattle at all. I don't like them. Like I don't like their fans. I don't like them at all. They like the Celtics to me and shit.
Fair enough. And now we're going to go to the NL. So we're going to start in the NL East. Brandon.
I've
on with
never heard anybody hate Mariners fans. So this is new to me, and I appreciate KP for putting me on to the
But
Mariners.
see, you're not on the other side, Brandon. They
That's
talk
true.
shit to us like crazy. Like they every year, because they always like think they're gonna come up and they get close, and you know, every year they begin talking shit, and then at the end of the year, they always crying at the end of the year. You know, but they talk a gang of shit. That's why I don't like them. That's why.
I respect it. For the NL East, I don't see how you can pick anybody other than the Braves. Their lineup is stacked. Spencer Strider, great pitcher. They got Chris Sale there to cut up any uniforms that don't look good. I think they win it easily.
Yep, I feel the same, especially with that addition to Chris Sale to the lineup. And I saw that I guess Spencer Strider was working on the third pitch in the offseason, and apparently it's been pretty effective in the spring training. So I'm super excited to see what he's added to his pitching arsenal. And of course, my guy, Ronald Acuna. He's my favorite player in the league, man. I can't say enough good things about him. So yeah, I got the Braves taking that division too. KP.
I'm gonna pick the Braves as well, but I think the Phillies gonna be up there as well. I think they're gonna be close, or they could win the division too. They know how to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got some winners, but they did lose. Who they lose? Hoskins?
Yeah,
Who they
Hoskins
lose?
went
Hoskins?
to Milwaukee.
He went to Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a bat they lost. But I still think they got some vets and they can be. I don't know about the Mets. I haven't really looked into the Mets. I think they're gonna contend, but I think Atlanta's gonna run away with the division. I got Strider for the Cy Young.
Okay. Brett.
Yeah, so the Braves, the obvious answer is the Braves. The lineup is it's probably the best in baseball, even with what the Dodgers have done. The Braves still probably had the best lineup in baseball. I mean, we're talking about how good their pitching is. We've mentioned Strider and Sale. We haven't even mentioned Max Fried. That's my pick to win the Cy Young.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be in a contract year, and he's probably not going back to the Braves. So he's looking to make a lot of money this year. So. Yeah, I mean, they are just absolutely loaded. And yeah, the Phillies are great. The Mets are, from my understanding, kind of punting on this season. They're going to save their money and start spending next year, from what I understand. But yeah, it's the Braves all the way. No question about it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Rob stepped away for a minute, so we're gonna go ahead.
I'm back.
Oh, okay. Well, Rob,
My bad.
it's all right. What's your pick for the NL East?
So the NL East, I got the Braves too. You know, like you guys said, adding Sale is a huge move. The one concern I have though is Acuna's knee. I know he had some issues here in spring training with it, so I'd hate to see that kid get hurt, man. I really like Acuna too. So I definitely think that they're the solid pick if they stay healthy. Austin Riley's a stud. Matt Olson's a stud. You got Strider. That dude could have 300 Ks this year. Easily a top Cy Young, candidate. So yeah, man, I got the Braves. I think the Phillies will be, there for a little while, but and then like the Mets, I think the Mets are going to have a fire sale. I think they're going to end up trading Pete Alonso. They're not going to pay Pete. They're going to end up trading him. So that's my pick, the Braves.
All right, clean sweep.
Let me say one more thing about the Braves real quick before we move, because
Yeah.
I don't want to forget to make this point. You won't believe how many Braves fans living in Atlanta I've heard complaining and crying about all the money the Dodgers are spending. The Braves are 4th in payroll. The Dodgers are 2nd. So they're spending money too. Let's make that clear. They're going to win the division easily. They're a big money team now. This ain't the little old Braves of the old days. I mean, they're a big market, big time team.
Well, the Dodgers have always spent money. So for the Braves to be up there with the Dodgers, that's telling you the Braves are spending a lot of money.
Yeah, they are, and they should. That's great. Everybody should spend
that's
money.
good.
I mean,
yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I mean, in the Frank McCourt days, we did not spend money when I first became a fan. So, but yes, quickly we started spending money.
All right, so now we focus our attention on the NL Central. Brandon, who do you have coming out of the NL Central?
This one's kind of like the AL Central for me, where it's like, okay, not a ton of talent. Who's going to hang on and win it? I've got the Reds winning this one. I think their young talent continues to progress. I mean, you got to tune in for Ellie De La Cruz alone. Matt McClain had a very under the radar good rookie season too. They're going to score a lot of runs, I think. Just kind of comes down to how many they can manage to not give up. But I think they're going to do better than the Cardinals. We saw the Cardinals today against the Dodgers. I mean, come on, and the Cubs.
And NL Central, I'm going with the Cubs for the NL Central. That's my pick. What's his name? Cody Bellinger. Did he re-sign with them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He's back.
Yeah. So Cubs are my pick. KP.
I picked the Cubs as well. Bellinger. They got some new Japanese pitcher they were raving about in manga. You know about him, Brett? Huh? What's his name?
Yeah. Shota Imanaga. He was he was like the second place guy behind Yamamoto.
Okay. Well, I saw some people talking about him on a show, and they said he's supposed to be pretty good. But you know, these Japanese pitchers, they don't impress me unless they've done. You know, they got to do it for 2 or 3 years in this league before they show me some. Right? Like Ohtani, he's done it. You know what I mean? But we're going to see what these others do, because we've seen these others that come over here and they're just regular. You know what I mean? They're regular. They end up being regular.
All right, Brett. What say you for the NL Central?
Yeah, I'm going with the Cubs as well. Cody Bellinger, I think he's back here to stay. You know, he finished his time with the Dodgers out terribly. I mean, we non-tendered him, but I think his shoulder's healed up now. I think that's the only reason he was underperforming. Huge year last year. I think he's going to be like in the MVP running for several years to come. Michael Busch, I don't know if anybody's heard of him. He was a AAA guy for the Dodgers, 26 years old, just killing the ball, but we didn't have room for him. Traded him to the Cubs for prospects. He's going to be their starting first baseman. I think he's going to have a huge year. And yeah, Shota Imanaga we talked about. He's going to strike a lot of guys out, but he might give up home runs in that small ballpark. But yeah, I mean, Cubs are going to score a lot of runs. I think that's definitely the pick in another weak division. You know, let's be honest. So.
All right, Rob.
Yeah, I got the Cubbies too. You know, like you said, Bellinger's back. You know, Justin Steele's a nice starter for them. He showed some promise last year. I really think he's going to be, 15-game winner, 18-game winner. He's going to be up there. They also got a decent bullpen. They got Swanson still at short. So yeah, man, and they got a new coach, so Craig Counsell, right? He switched from the Brewers over to the Cubs. So and I think Cincinnati will give him a run, but that injury to Matt McClain, we don't know how long he's going to be out. I think he's ended up having surgery the other day. So that I think is going to impact them. And I really don't know about what kind of Hunter Green are we going to get from Cincinnati? You know what I mean? Like that kid's got a ton of potential. He's got that Cy Young potential, but what are we going to get? So I think the book's still out on him. De La Cruz is a stud. I love watching that kid play. He's like an alien out there on like a Wembanyama out there at shortstop. The boy's huge, man. Throwing 105-mile-an-hour lasers to first base. That guy's incredible. But my pick is the Cubs.
Burton. Speaking of Wembanyama's at shortstop, I got O'Neal Cruz is back with the Pirates, man. I'm rooting for madness.
Yeah.
especially in
y'all
that
got
corner.
me
You,
thinking of Wemby playing shortstop. Like I'm just like picturing that Wemby playing shortstop. Hilarious.
The range he would have, just
Oh man, you don't even need a third baseman.
no.
yeah, no kidding. But man, seeing O'Neal Cruz and lined up with Brian Hayes, man, in the hot corner, I'm looking forward to watching those two. So last but not least, NL West, and I got a feeling I know how these predictions are gonna go, but predictions need to be made. So, Mr. Silvers.
All right. Before I made these notes before the game today, and I did pick the Dodgers. And then I watched the game today and I put it all in bold writing. The Dodgers look great today against the Cardinals. Just incredible. I'm incredibly biased as well. Shohei, even though he got thrown out on the bases, that was hilarious. Reminded me of watching Puig again. It was just such a great performance that I'm ready to print the World Series t-shirts, even though, you know how it's gone for us recently in October, but I got to go with the Dodgers to win the division. Brett's going to put this much better than I can put it, so I will leave it to him.
Yeah, and I'm going with the Dodgers as well. I really don't see anybody else putting up a fight with them in the NL West. KP.
Let's see here. I mean, you got the Diamondbacks. Nobody gonna give the Diamondbacks any credit. Like they got basically the same team coming back, right? Did they lose
They
anybody?
just added Jordan Montgomery too.
They
Oh,
did?
well, they added Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
They got better.
from
Oh.
Texas, right?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
knew he was
Yeah.
he was still on the market. I didn't know that anybody picked him up. Wow.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm gonna give the Dodgers their credit because Ohtani is that's huge. Like that's like adding 3 players, really. Even though he's not pitching this year, right? He's not pitching this
No.
year, right? I don't think
No.
he's pitching. But I'm still gonna give Diamondbacks I'm gonna give them some props too. They may sneak up they're gonna give the Dodgers maybe a little something. San Francisco, they always gonna be around. I don't trust the Padres anymore. They lost too much. I think they're gonna fall off. But yeah, the Dodgers they're probably gonna win it. And I'm gonna give it to them as long as everybody's healthy. The other Japanese pitcher, he's not proven yet, so I don't know what he's gonna do. But I get Glass now. He's tough. He's tough. Yeah. So I give it to him. I like Mookie too. That's like one of my favorite players
Oh,
in
of
the
course.
league.
The fact that they move him to shortstop, man, this just
Oh, and they got Teoscar too.
Yep.
Too. That's big. That's huge. Teoscar Hernandez from Seattle.
Yep.
He can
Yep.
hit. Yeah. He strike out a lot, but he can hit, and he's a clutch hitter too.
man. All right, Brett.
I mean, it's obvious. We went 100 games last year, and now we've had the greatest offseason in the history of the sport. I mean, so obviously the Dodgers is the pick. I do want to appreciate how good this division is, though. I mean, we talked about how bad both central divisions are. Like, nobody's even trying to win. Giants are out here signing Blake Snell. Arizona goes to the World Series. They add Jordan Montgomery to an already loaded pitching staff that has, at least one Cy Young candidate on it already.
Former Tar
San
Heels, Zach
Diego,
Allen.
yeah, that's right. And San Diego, I still think they're going to be good. I mean, that lineup is still loaded. They're having to take a step back with their financial difficulties and all that, but their lineup is still great. The only team not trying to win is Colorado. So you've got 4 teams that are out there really trying to win. But yeah, the Dodgers, Mookie, Shohei, Freddie might be the best 1, 2, 3 ever that the sport has ever seen. Pitching staff's excellent. This has to be another 100-win year at least. So Dodgers easily.
Easy 100 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rob.
Yeah, man. you can't pick against the Dodgers. I think if the Dodgers didn't win the division, that would be one of the most massive failures that we've seen in our lifetimes. Like Brett was saying, they had an incredible offseason. Otani, he's incredible. Was it Yamamoto they brought in? He looked shaky in his first start, but I think as long as he figures out his routine on the mound, he seems to get kind of sped up a little bit. So once he figures that out, settles down, I think he's going to be okay. But yeah, that division is stacked, man. Like the Giants made some really nice moves with Snell. I like the other kid they got, the center fielder, was it Young Ho Lee or something like that. He's nice. He's going to be setting the table for them. They got a really nice young lefty in Kyle Harrison, who's a nice pitcher. So the Giants are going to be around. Obviously the Diamondbacks are coming back full force, adding Montgomery. Really, the only like we said, the only team that really isn't really going to do much in there is Colorado. So obviously, it's the Dodgers division to lose, and if they lose it, they better go run and hide. So
Pretty much. All right, those are our picks for division winners. So now we're going to get into the individual honors. So AL and NL MVP. Brandon, who's your picks?
So NL, I think this is Mookie's year, especially with the move to shortstop. Close last year, despite the fact that Brett and I tried to make the case, you could not have given it to anyone other than Acuna. That was an incredible season. But I think this year, this is the Mookie Betts year. In the NL, AL, I've got Julio Rodriguez. I think he was on fire the second half of the season. If he can do that for a full year, he doesn't have to do that. If he comes close to doing that for the full year, I think he's got it. And I think the Mariners are going to be in the mix, like we talked about. That division tightly contested. I got Rodriguez for the AL.
All right, man. You must have been snooping in my notes or something, because I literally had Mookie Betts for NL and Julio Rodriguez for AL MVP. All right.
Great minds. Great minds.
Man. All right. KP.
NL, I got Betts. AL, I got Altuve, if he's healthy all year, which he's starting off the season healthy. Last year he was hurt. I also got Seager up there.
Yeah.
I really got it between Seager and Altuve.
Good
in
picks.
NL. I mean AL. I'm sorry.
Good picks. Brett, who are your MVP picks?
Yeah, NL, it's Mookie. I will go to my grave saying he should have won it last year, because that move from right field to second base, I mean, as crazy as that was, now he's moving to shortstop. I mean,
Yeah.
like we talk about what Shohei's doing, pitching and hitting, how we've never seen anything like it. We've never seen anything like what Mookie is doing. We've never seen anybody play their whole career in right field and then come in and play quality middle infield in the infield. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
It really is.
And he's he killed the ball last year. He's off to a just amazing start this year. He's batting like 700. He's got 2 home runs already. Shohei Ohtani's batting behind him. I mean,
pick your poison.
It's amazing. He's just going to have a huge, huge year. So if he can stick at shortstop, and I see no reason that he can't, I think it's a bigger news story now, his move into the infield. He did it last year. Everybody's looking at it this year. So I think he's going to get the credit he deserves for that finally this year. So I think he's your MVP.
Well said. Rob, who are your picks?
So NL, I'm sticking with the Dodgers. I got Otani. I just think with all the guys around him in that lineup, man, he's just gonna kill it. And I heard a rumor. I don't know how true this is. Maybe Brett could speak to it, but I heard that they might, because they're trying to free up that DH spot and put Muncy in there, because Muncy can't ground a ball play a ground ball for shit. So I was hearing that they're going to try to move Muncy over to DH and put Otani in the outfield. So I don't know how true that rumor is, but that would be interesting to see. But yeah, no, that's my NL MVP is Shohei. My AL MVP, I got Julio Rodriguez, like y'all, man. That kid is amazing. He's a five-tool player. He's got the power, the speed, the defense. He's got the charisma. He's a great player, man. And I think this year he's really going to bust out. I know he really started getting his name out there with the home run derby and all that, and how he looked in that. But I think this is his year to really take that step forward and become an MVP.
Well said. Now,
I'm sorry,
What
I
if
didn't pick
Otani
my
gets suspended?
the
What if Otani gets suspended? Who you pick?
If Otani gets suspended, I'm going with Mookie.
Yeah, because I had
It
Otani
was a
too, but I'm
toss up
thinking
for
he's gonna
me.
get suspended, so that's why I said Mookie.
Yeah, it was a toss up for me with Mookie and Otani.
Look at Brett.
Got him stressed.
Brett, you were going to say something?
I forgot to pick my AL. Corey Seager is my AL MVP. Juan Soto is going to be, the big star, and I love him. We talked about him last year on Silver's podcast, and him being in New York is going to be special. Like, that's just the perfect fit for him. But Corey Seager he's playing the premium defensive position at shortstop, playing it very well, and he might be the best pure hitter in the game. I mean,
Yeah,
he is just
he can hit,
he's
man.
he's so good. If he stays healthy the whole year, it's him.
I like that. I like that. So
Good
now
pick.
we're going to move to Cy Young. Brandon, who are your picks for Cy Young?
NL, I think Spencer Strider. He's going to win a lot of games. Obviously, not really a pitcher stat, but he's going to win a lot of games because he's going to get the run support. If he can just get that ERA down to like the low to mid threes, I think the strikeouts and the wins will carry him to the award. And then in the AL, I got Corbin Burns. I think he bounces back. Sorry, Danny.
What the fuck, man? Seriously.
He got a lot of run support today. He looked fantastic. They scored 11 runs. I think in all of his starts last year, they only hit 11 runs twice, which you can't expect someone to score 11 runs a ton, but that's a great way to get out the gate.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to factor heavily into them winning the AL East. So Corbin Burns, Spencer Strider, me and Danny, both right. We got the inside line from Ipe, the translator.
KP, who are your picks for Cy Young?
I got Strider in the NL, and who do I have in the AL? I didn't even put anybody down. Let me see. I'm not sure, man. I don't really pay attention to Cy Young that much, like unless it's one of our guys. Like I don't care, and we don't have anybody that's gonna win the Cy Young next year.
I was going to say, just say Verlander.
Nah, he ain't winning the Cy Young. He might win a World Series ring, but he ain't winning the Cy Young at all. I don't know. I'll defer this one. I don't really care.
Okay. Brett.
All right. AL, I was gonna go with Garrett Cole, and then I heard y'all were just talking about his shoulder acting up, and I googled it. He's on the 60-day IL. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So obviously can't pick him. So I'm gonna go with Corbin Burns as well. I don't think people realize how great he was in Milwaukee. Just up there, you're not going to get a lot of publicity, but him on a great team with a lot of run support and just in a competitive situation now where, I mean, we mentioned Verlander. Y'all remember he was terrible in Detroit. And as soon as he got to Houston in a competitive environment where he had a chance to win, he just turned it on. I think Corbin Burns is going to do something similar. And he's durable. He's definitely going to get the innings. He's not going to get hurt. So, yeah, I think Corbin Burns is the obvious pick for the AL. NL, I mentioned Max Fried earlier. Great pitcher, been great for years. in a contract year, so he's pitching for his big contract. He's probably my pick. I also want to mention Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers, of course. Probably maybe the best stuff in baseball, and now he's going to the best team at developing pitchers. I mean, it could be something special if he gets enough innings. He's always hurt and always a little low on the innings, but if he gets to 170 innings or something like that this year, it would probably be him at that point.
All right, Rob, who are your picks?
My picks, so AL, it was tough. I was flip flopping between Burns and George Kirby for Seattle. I think Kirby's real nice. But yeah, I just think Burns is going to end up with more wins just because of that lineup that's behind him, and Brett said, with Verlander going from Detroit to Houston, I think that's going to be a very similar effect to Burns, where he's just going to be around all that, and it's really going to step his game up to the next level. And he was already really good in Milwaukee, so that's my pick for the AL. And then the NL, I'm going with Spencer Strider, man. That dude is incredible. I think he might scratch the 300 strikeout mark. He's also got an incredible lineup behind him, so he's going to get those wins. And I think the only competition I think he's going to have, like I do like Glasnow a lot. If Glasnow can stay healthy, he's going to push Strider for that award. So, but Strider is my pick.
Right on. So now going to do Rookie of the Year. AL and NL Rookie of the Year. Brandon, who do you have?
All right, I think the AL, we might again have the same player here, Danny, because he plays for your Rangers. Thinking Wyatt Langford, especially with the Orioles starting with Jackson Holliday in the minors. Langford's up in the bigs. I think it's going to be Langford. Everything I've seen about him, he's incredible. The NL, I do think Yamamoto figures it out. I heard someone say something that sounded smart, so I'm going to repeat it and choose to believe it, that the Japanese pitchers, when they come over, so long as they don't rely on their fastball, they tend to have more success earlier. I guess their fastball doesn't really move like the American pitchers or the Latin American pitchers does. So I think he figures that out. I think we've got the staff, the coaches and everything to help him figure that out. I think he does win it, and we're going to give him runs too. So I got Yamamoto in the NL and Langford in the AL.
All right, we are 3 for 3. I've mentioned on Twitter about maybe 2 weeks ago, I said I'm going to be tweeting about Wyatt Langford a lot this year because this man is just he's special. I mean, got the Rangers drafted him in the first round in 2023, right out of the University of Florida, like fresh off a College World Series, and he absolutely tore through the minors. I mean, it was mind blowing to me how quick he got promoted. And then I was wondering whether or not he was going to get the September call up, but they gave that to Evan Carter, which, I mean, that's a great luxury to have, and then Carter just steps right in and just like plays out of his mind in the postseason. But yeah, Wyatt Langford, man, I mean, led the league in RBI. Granted, it's spring training, but he led the entire league in RBIs. His OPS was like 1.2. I mean, it's just absurd. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what Yamamoto is going to do this year. Just based off of his resume in Japan. I mean, you can't deny it. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment. It's kind of to me, it was like similar to when we got Yu Darvish back in, I think that was like 2011 or something like that, when he came to Texas and he had that adjustment period. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what Yamamoto is going to provide for the Dodgers. KP, who are your picks?
Probably Yamamoto if he don't give up a lot, because he's already, he got the name. on here. I had somebody on here. Oh, this guy for the Yankees, Dominguez.
Okay.
I think he was playing last year, and
Yeah, Jason Dominguez.
yeah, I think he played last year for a little while. He was called up. He was doing pretty good. He's tough. So I'm gonna pick him.
All right. Brett, who are your picks for Rookie of the Year?
So I just pulled up the betting odds. The Rangers have the top 2 favorites. Wyatt Langford and Evan Carter are the top 2 favorites. That's something else. So Langford, I know him well as a South Carolina college baseball fan. He put it in our ass, dude. I mean, he was so good. Like, so Florida's got this dude, Jack Caglione. I don't know if anybody follows college baseball, but he's the Shohei of college. Big, huge dude. He pitches and hits for him. But Wyatt Langford steals the show. I mean, he was the superstar on that team, and to get to the pros this quick. I mean, he was just yesterday. He was knocking us out of the super regionals in college baseball. Now he's, the Rookie of the Year favorite. So I don't remember the last time we've seen something like that. Like John Olerud way back in the day come through that quick, but I can't think of anybody that's made it through the minors that quickly. So he's got to be the pick in the AL. NL, it's got to be Yamamoto. So KP mentioned earlier that when the Japanese pitchers come over, we really don't know. I think that used to be the case. I think now with the way the pitch tracking technology is, we know how good they're going to be when they get over here because they've been tracking his pitches. They know how good his stuff is. So, I mean, we gave the man $320 million and he's never even thrown a pitch in the major leagues. I mean, that's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I think everybody knows how great he's going to be. Horrible first start. Gave up 5 runs in the first inning, but
I hope he's great for that. Just for that reason, they gave him all that money. He better be.
So, I mentioned earlier the Dodgers are the best team in baseball at developing pitchers. They get Yamamoto.
Developing all players. They got
Yeah,
the best farm
right.
system for years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah,
That's one
absolutely.
thing you can't take away from the Dodgers. They always had the best. Man, hey, man, Yordan Alvarez, man. Appreciate that.
Yep. I don't even remember who y'all gave us for him.
Oh, some bomb y'all let go the same year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Appreciate that though.
Yeah.
All right.
Dodgers,
Rob,
man, they got the best farm system.
So my picks for Rookie of the Year. So AL, I think it's a 3-horse race there. It's either going to be Holiday because I know Holiday's going to come up here soon. He's going to get called up here within the month. Wyatt Langford is a stud. That dude's built like a linebacker. He's going to be real nice for years to come. And then my boy Bo Naylor, the catcher for Cleveland. I really think he's got a chance too. He's going to be right in the middle of that lineup. If Cleveland, ends up winning that division, I think he's going to have a lot to do with it. But my pick ultimately, I'm going to take Holiday, man. I think Jackson Holiday is going to come up and just light the AL on fire. So he's my pick in the AL. The NL, I was kind of torn on the NL. I had the kid from Milwaukee, Jackson Churio. He's nice. And then, but ultimately, I was going to go with that kid from San Francisco, Kyle Harrison. He's a real nice lefty. They actually called him up last year towards the end of the year. If he can get his control in order, because he's a little bit wild, but if he can get his control in order, and that is a pitcher's ballpark, and the Giants I think are going to score some more runs this year because they got Solaire's there now, so I got Kyle Harrison stealing that NL Rookie of the Year from Yamamoto.
All right. Solid picks. So now, going to go to the one team that you are going to watch intently that is not your team. So, Brandon.
Man, this was tough because there's so much great talent. I mean, the Guardians, Jose Ramirez, we didn't even talk about him, the greatest chain in the history of chains in baseball. You got the
And
Braves
the greatest
lineup.
left hand.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Then you got the Braves, their lineup with Acuna, Reds, Ellie De La Cruz. It's probably going to be the Braves simply because they are exciting. They've got Acuna, and I kind of want to keep an eye on them as a NL rival.
For once, we didn't have the same pick.
Whew. It was getting weird.
It was. I'm not even gonna hold you, but my pick is the team that I'm going to be paying more attention to this year, other than the Rangers, are the Miami Marlins. Simply because you got Tim Anderson and you got Jazz Chisholm as teammates. Oh my God! Speaking of chains, Jazz Chisholm, bro. Man, and you got Luis Ariz on top of that. So, and then on top of that, they're allowing the crowd to bring noisemakers into the games now. So I'm like, man, pump that
Genius.
straight into my veins.
So
I'm here
smart.
for all of that shit. So yeah, the Marlins are going to be my team to follow this year. KP.
Know that. I'll probably be keeping an eye on the Dodgers and the Giants. I always watch the Dodgers. Like that's probably like, even though I hate the Dodgers, I love the Dodgers too. Like I got a love-hate relationship with them. So I'll probably be watching them, paying attention to them because of Ohtani. Because I live in LA part of the time, so I pay attention to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But as far as I'll be paying attention to the Rangers and Pittsburgh probably. I like O'Neill. Like so I play a lot of FanDuel baseball, so
Okay.
I don't really get into it like until I really start playing FanDuel. Like I really start getting into it, like watching the players a lot. So yeah, I pay attention to probably Pittsburgh too when I get a chance to watch them. I like to watch them because they got a couple brothers, in the infield doing their thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Keith Ryan Hayes, which I didn't even realize that was Charlie
Right.
Hayes' son.
Yep.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, like I was super late to the game on that, and I remember Charlie Hayes was one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite players in the '90s, man, in the hot corner. I remember he was with the Yankees and the
Right.
Rockies.
Yep.
Hey, Brett. So who's your team?
Yep.
So, like Silver said, the Braves kind of have to be the obvious answer. I live here. Extremely entertaining team. But I'm also going to keep an eye on the Yankees because they added Juan Soto, like I talked about earlier. Maybe the most entertaining player in the game goes into that environment with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo for what little amount of time we're going to get him before he gets hurt. This is going to be a very entertaining lineup, and if it blows up and they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be even more entertaining because that pressure cooker up there, that fan base is
Yes.
that might be the most entertaining outcome we can get. So
Yes.
one way or the other, the Yankees are going to be must watch.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because boy, if that team implodes, I'm tuned in to WFAN every damn night.
They're gonna implode.
Yes.
They're gonna implode.
All right, Rob, who's your team?
The question is, when they implode, how many times is Boone going to get ejected this year? I love seeing him lose his shit. I love seeing him lose his shit, man. He cracks me up, man. That dude is. The umpire's got to have a little text chain on the side where they just talk shit about his ass because he's always on their ass.
True.
He's always over there chirping from the dugout. But yeah, my team that I'm gonna be watching. So I got two teams that I'm gonna be watching. Baltimore. I think they're gonna be super exciting to watch. I want to see if they live up to the expectations because there's a whole lot on them right now. They got a lot of expectations. So let's see if they can live up to it. My second team I'm gonna watch, which I normally watch these guys all the time because I live up here in NorCal, but is the Giants, man. I love watching the Giants play. I love that ballpark. That's a ballpark I often visit, and it's a great place to catch a game. But yeah, the Giants are going to be the other team that I'm going to watch. Plus they on my local channel here, so I ain't got to pay for that MLB network.
There you go. And man, shout
So
out to AT&T.
they show home games up there. They show the
Yeah,
Giants in NoCal.
yeah, they do.
Because
Yep.
in LA they don't show the Dodgers. You can't see the Dodgers unless you have their channel.
Yeah, that's
Like you can't
that's
see.
that Spectrum shit, right?
Yeah,
Is
you
it
got to
is it
have that
Spectrum?
to watch the Dodgers and Lakers too. You can't watch the Lakers either.
Yeah, see, man, LA, man, they be fucking their own fans.
It's bullshit.
They
Yeah,
just some
exactly.
bullshit.
Exactly. It's
And shout out
bullshit.
to
Yeah, I get the Oakland games and the Giants games up here. So,
oh damn.
and
Yeah, see,
Oakland might win
that's
5 games
yeah.
this year, but
They
They're
might
going to
have
Vegas
5 people
anyway.
in the stands this year.
yeah,
Right.
man.
They're going to Vegas anyway though.
Yeah. And shout out to AT&T Park for and more importantly, shout out to Max Muncy for telling Bumgarner to go get it out the fucking ocean. Kudos.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Because you know
That
how
was
we roll
fucking
around
awesome.
here. It's fuck Madness and Bumgarner now and forever.
I
All
think we
day,
can all
every
say.
day.
I think we can all safely say that.
Yes. And
He's an asshole.
lastly, World Series picks. So Brandon, I'll start with you. Who do you have going to the World Series?
I feel obligated, obviously, to pick the Dodgers. If we spend that much money and don't make it to the World Series, despite how random the playoffs are, I'm going to be devastated. I think it's Dodgers Orioles. That's my pick.
All right. We're back on the same wavelength again because I have O's and Dodgers as my pick for the World Series as well. KP, what say you?
God, Dodgers, Astros. Like,
Okay.
the Orioles they're not ready for us yet.
Okay. Brett.
So I'm ready to see the Dodgers again. I think they want to see. I think they're ready to see us again. They talked a lot of shit. They've been talking a lot of shit. Like,
Did Altuve get that tattoo taken off?
what? Oh,
The
here
tattoo
you go,
with the.
with the
I still haven't seen that. I still haven't seen that.
But he didn't have the tattoo when we were in Dodger Stadium, though. But the tattoo wasn't there in Dodger Stadium.
Okay, I
So
was just curious about the
we're
tattoo.
gonna see y'all.
You want to bet?
It's
I
there.
know a
It's
guy
there.
who will bet on it.
Ipe?
Exactly. See, now you're on track. It was all Ipe all the time. That's who did it.
And Brett, so what's your pick?
All right. I'm going Braves Orioles. So the Dodgers in the coming years, we're going to take a stranglehold on the National League. When Shohei gets back on the mound next year, it's going to start a glorious run. We're going to get multiple World Series, but I don't think it starts this year. The Braves, despite everything we did in the offseason, you compare the Braves lineup and the Braves pitching staff to the Dodgers, like it's hard to say the Braves are second to anybody. I mean, they're incredible. And Rob mentioned this earlier, Max Muncy at third base. That's going to be a problem. I think we're going to have a 7-game series with the Braves for the National League pennant. And I feel like one Max Muncy error or one Gavin Lux throw into row 13 can.
He's bad. He's so bad. He really
like
bad.
that.
Lux.
One error can cost you the series, and if it goes 7 games, like I think it will. So the Braves just seem more
putting us
buttoned
all
up.
on Muncy already.
I mean, he's probably my favorite player.
Already?
But man, he's just, I don't know, playing third base on a championship team. I just don't know. I don't know. But yeah, next year I'll be picking the Dodgers, but not quite yet.
All right.
Brett,
Rob, who's your World Series pick?
Do you think? Oh, I'm sorry.
My pick
Me?
for the World Series, I got the Braves over Baltimore. I really think Baltimore is going to get there. I do think it's going to be them and the Astros in the ALCS though. But I think Baltimore's going to get over the top. And then I really can't. I can't really bet on the Dodgers until they shake that monkey off their back. Because they just been really bad in the postseason here recently. So I'm going Atlanta as long as Acuna is healthy, man. If that knee starts acting up, then that's going to change my pick completely, and it probably would be back to the Dodgers then if that's the case. But so I got Atlanta over Baltimore.
All right. Now, KP, what were you saying again?
I was gonna ask. He said that he thinks the Dodgers are gonna be next year because Ohtani. So you think Ohtani's a better pitcher than he is a hitter?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he's probably a top 5 pitcher and like top 2 hitter. I mean, he's top
We
5
used to
in
smack
both
him up.
categories.
Like Astros used to smack him up on the regular. Like we
Yeah.
used to smack him up, like seriously. Like we used to smack
Yeah.
him. So that's why I'm like, I think while he concentrating on hitting right now, this is all he's gonna do is hit. I think he's gonna be better. I think the
It might
Dodgers
be
got
it.
a better chance this year. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
all. That's all I was saying.
I mean, it might be his best year ever as a hitter because, like you're saying, he's focusing exclusively on hitting.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
because he's
good point.
concentrating on hitting. That's all it is.
Yeah. And, it's funny. He would have, if back in the day, if he would have picked one coming out of high school, like most everybody wanted him to, it would have been as a pitcher. So, like, if he didn't, if the cards didn't align like they did, we would have never seen this, and we would have never even seen him with a bat in his hand. So it's crazy how this worked out.
Yeah. And
He's had some great games as a pitcher, though. He's had some great games, but
yeah,
I think
he's
he's a
special as
better
a hitter.
hitter. Me,
Yeah.
just personally. I don't know.
And I just love the sound of the bat whenever his hits leave the yard. I mean, you can't tell if it's a baseball or if it's a gunshot.
Yeah.
I mean,
His singles, I mean, he'll hit singles like that. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a couple of singles today, and they were like had to be 110 mile an hour off the bat.
I mean, it's crazy how much pop he gets.
Yeah.
So, man, fellas, once again, man, thank y'all so much for joining me on here. I thoroughly enjoy myself, and I'm so looking forward to this MLB season. And once again, thank y'all for being on here tonight.
No, this was
Absolutely, bro.
amazing.
All right.
Always fun, man. And I mean, this podcast got me super heavy back into baseball. So thank you for doing it.
All right, well, I appreciate that, man. That makes me know that I'm doing my job. One fan a day. So make sure that y'all like, download, and subscribe to At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me at Danny Foxworth 843, where you can find all the video versions of all the episodes for this podcast, as well as my other podcast since we last spoke with Danny Foxworth. And for the crew and myself, this has been another episode of At the Plate. And until next time, y'all be good. 3 strikes.
Peace.